we internally decided that when we are talking about peace with our neighbors, so the homework we did is that Bina will tackle with our eastern neighbors, that is India, and I'll tackle with our western neighbor, that is Afghanistan plus Iran and things like that. Why so? I directly sent her back home, which was from Central Asia, and according to the Constitution and the Parliament of Pakistan, we consider Afghanistan as Central Asian country, not South Asian country. So, being a very legal-minded person in that sense and obeying the Constitution, things like that, I'm here to just say how we can normalize our relation with Afghanistan, and the narrative which is popular there back home in various circles. I will say that and try how can we understand that and how we can intervene to just change it a little in favor of peace. Pakistan's official position is that we are for a solution of Afghanistan which is Afghan-led and Afghan-owned. I say read it Pakistan-led, Afghan-owned. And we need to be coming to the literal meaning of Afghan-led and Afghan-owned rather than Pakistan-led and Afghan. That's the crux. When we are saying this, it means that we are going to follow the Charter of the UN, which talks about non-interference, non-intimidation of your neighbors. So Pakistan has no right, for that matter, or India or any other country, to interfere, use of force, threat of use of force in the internal affair of its neighbors. So did Pakistan expect that others should be following that Charter of the UN. Now, what happens? The narrative popular back home is that we are so generous. We, in time of difficulty in Afghanistan, we accepted, I say invited, a lot of refugees from Afghanistan. And then trained not only Pakistan, but the whole West and the US. They decided to fight the Soviet forces in Afghanistan till the last Afghan. And they are continuing that. Though Soviet forces have gone back in 1988, some others reached there, but the policy is the same. The fight continues till the last Afghan. And we have to mend it. We have to mend it and we have to know. We are trying that everyone in the world should believe that Afghans are so independent that they don't want to be subjugated by any. We need to be first believing that ourselves. We are making that. US should believe that, and the Soviets and the Russians should believe that. But here, back home, we should believe. We should have a firm belief that Afghanistan is a sovereign country. It has a right to have a relation with any other country according to its own national interest. Yes, people of Pakistan and Afghan people have relations from time immemorial. There have been movement across the Durand line, which is in historical terms very recent phenomenon. There has been movement of people, ideas, water, and any other form. We can't stop it, and we should not stop it. So if you want to continue with the policies which were formulated during the imperial past, when the world was divided between two imperial powers, Russia and the Great Britain, and then between the so-called socialist and capitalist world, and we still want to have the forward policy in Afghanistan, then the result will be what we are seeing right now, and even worse. It's high time we change and we start believing in the politics of peace in Afghanistan. Thank you. Here I stop.
No, I am saying also एक लफ्ज़ Iran के बारे में.
Yeah, Iran के बारे में. Here I start with Afghanistan. What happens in Iran that Pakistan otherwise says that we are standing by the Muslim Ummah. We in Pakistan have started having a proxy war, sectarian proxy war between two factions long ago. We know that there are foreign funded organizations working on sectarian basis in Pakistan and abroad too. Similarly, we know that certain forces are fighting their own war, not there on their borders, but in Pakistan, as far as sectarian Islam is concerned. We also know that Pakistan, which is in dire need of hydrocarbon resources, if they are coming from Central Asia or from Iran, if the Pakistani people and industry needs hydrocarbon resources, they should be coming with cheaper prices from anywhere in the world. But there are stoppages, there are threats, and not only threats from inside Pakistan, but from abroad as well. So we need peace in our neighborhood and peace in Pakistan. Let there be an image of Pakistan, which is that Pakistan state is not fighting with its own self and with its own neighbors. Lest we have an impression, and probably the conditions as well, where the state of Pakistan is at peace with itself and with its neighbors too, especially Afghanistan and Iraq. And I leave it for you.
So, इधर जो बातें हुई हैं सुबह से कल भी जो बातें हुई हैं उसमें बहुत सारी एक तो बात ये आती रही बार बार कि those of us who are here, many of us have been called and continue to be called traitors in one way or the other. And the basis for us being called traitors is quite often that we are calling for peace with India. So India becomes a very central part in the narrative that is built up about us, about our activism, about what we want, how we are misrepresented. And as Dr. Taki mentioned, I've been working with Aman Ki Asha, which is an India-Pakistan peace platform started by two major media groups in 2010. But I've been involved in that, as many of you, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे दोस्त हैं जो कि शुरू से 1993 में जब पाकिस्तान India People's Forum बना था for peace and democracy, many of you here have been involved in that, and that laid the basis for peace activism between India and Pakistan at that time. In 1993-94, and at that time, जो पहला जो conference था Pakistan India People's Forum का in Delhi, which was attended by I think about 100 people, about 30-40 went from Pakistan. So the first, and some यहाँ पे कश्मीर की भी बहुत बात हुई है. So one of the very first point in that conference, and I'm not quoting it verbatim, मगर roughly उसके words ये थे कि Kashmir is not a matter, should not be treated as a piece of real estate between India and Pakistan, as a territorial dispute between India and Pakistan, but as a matter of the lives and aspirations of the Kashmiri people, whose views and aspirations should be taken into account and included in any dialogue between these two countries. Now this is the people-centered formulation that the first Pakistan India People's Forum for Peace and Democracy came up with in 1993-94. अब जाके इतने सालों बाद we are starting to hear it in the mainstream over the last 3 or 4 years. And groups from India and Pakistan, we have continued to work on this issue. And the thing is कि this is something that हमारे जो दोस्त इंडिया में हैं उनको जब बुरा भला कहना होता है उनको पाकिस्तान एजेंट कहते हैं. They are all raw agents and Pakistan agents and ISI agents, और हमें जो बुरा भला कहना होता है we are raw agents and Indian agents. So I say traitors of the world unite. Because the people, my friends in America also, who are standing up against the state establishment and the security state narrative, they also get exactly the same thing. And now this is all, the whole thing is being conflated. Religion and nationalism is being conflated so that you are no longer just a traitor, you are also a kafir. If you are in Pakistan and in India, you are against against Hinduism. So I just wanted to put that in perspective here because these are the things that color, और जो मैंने पहले बात की थी about that young woman who disappeared and who has been disappeared for 2 years, Zeenat Shehzadi. जिसको पुलिस भी नहीं रिकवर कर पा रही, even though they know कि उसकी गाड़ी जिसमें उसको अगवा किया गया था is always a white car with a license plate and traced to some individual in Islamabad. She was trying to help an Indian boy who had crossed into Pakistan illegally from Afghanistan because there was an entrapment issue, I believe. Anyway, so he has been put in jail and she has disappeared. But so we started this session about 8 minutes ago, and we are 45 minutes behind the schedule because according to this we were supposed to start at 3:45 and finish at 5:15. So आप सब की इजाज़त से we should maybe continue for the allotted time unless you want to wrap up early. And in any case I would say कि हमारे पिछले sessions जो हैं उसमें जैसे हक्कानी साहब ने भी कहा, and but this is the other Haqqani network, right? So we have शिकायतें हो चुकी हैं. We all know what the issues are. Please do not tell us anymore. I do not want anyone to stand up and say this is the problem. We know what the problems are. Please make this solution oriented. Please make your intervention